You guys, episode 2 of Bad Boys LA is here, and I have a couple things to say, but honestly, in my opinion, not too much happened this episode, so this will be a shorter review than last week's. But getting into this week's episode, we got to see where it left off last week, which was the fight between Durell and Milan. And in my opinion, I think Durell won that. I think he got more hits in, and Milan is a bigger guy, so the few hits he did get in, I feel like they were probably hurting a little bit more. But Durell definitely held his own. I'm gonna give that to Durell. Milan had his head down a lot of the time, not even knowing where he was swinging, and especially when he ran up again, I think Durell definitely had that one. Then after their fight, Natalie's brilliant, groundbreaking observation that Milan stood up for Dylan. Great job, Natalie. You really pointed out something nobody else had seen. But after Durell and Milan's fight, Kerrion starts going off about his jacket. Nobody really cared about that, so moving on. They all start to regroup, and honestly, this episode was just extremely exhausting for me. The entire episode was just so dragged out. I really don't know why Zeus feels the need to include footage of them saying the same things over and over again. I get them splitting the first day into 2 episodes because a lot had happened. However, episode 2, there should have been no more than 15, maybe 20 minutes of night 1 in there. But they really dragged this out for so long, and I feel like a lot of it could have been cut out. Speaking of things that could have been cut out, it was just so random that Natalie decided to show a bunch of Bad Boys rejects saying what they wanted the show to be. I really couldn't tell you why this was even aired. If Natalie, as an executive producer, is meeting with her cast and maybe wanting to show them that video, like, you know, this is kind of what we're looking for as far as what a bad boy is, I can get her showing them that off camera or maybe in like a little meeting. But why are all their meetings aired? It's just so weird. But it goes from the videos to Gutta saying that the white boys as well as Moolah and Curtis weren't giving. But after Gutta had said that, it goes to Moolah saying that he's gonna make his presence known right now, and then he ends up saying that he only likes pussy and no dicks. I don't know, it's just so weird to me. But have you guys ever seen a straight man go in a room full of people saying, I like pussy, if somebody has a problem, do something about it? It was just extremely attention seeking to me. I think that Moolah knows that he's on camera, and he knows that if he says something offensive, that it'll be a topic of conversation, or maybe production try to tell him to do it, because it just seemed extremely random and forced. I don't know, it was just weird, because is that all you have to offer to the show, is that you're straight in the house with gay men? Is that your only storyline and you're trying to beef with somebody about it? I don't know, it was just weird. I felt like he had nothing else to bring to the table. But Moolah did say that he went to prison for 5 years, so we all know that he dabbles, and it's eating him alive because he misses it and he can't use the excuse that he's in prison anymore. It's okay, Moolah, but Natalie and the boys finally do what they should have done in the beginning, and that was toast. And again, Moolah tries to bring up dick and pussy into his toast, which is just very weird to me. Here goes DL Moolah upset that nobody cared about what he had to say the first time, so he brought it up again, trying to press the exact same issue, sounding like a damn record player. But after Moolah gives this really awkward toast, Moolah then starts to ask Kerrion if he's gay, because if he is, then he needs to go stand over there with all the other gay boys, and he doesn't want anybody around him that's being quote unquote sneaky. I personally didn't see what was so sneaky about Kerrion, because I feel like the whole time he was kind of just keeping to himself and in the background. But Kerrion ends up telling Moolah that he's suspect for asking too many times, and starts to get a little bit more like, I'm gonna just stand here and that's what I'm on. So Moolah finally got the moment he was looking for, fighting Kirk Franklin's son for being gay, and he ended up hitting Kerrion when Kerrion was looking down, and Kerrion ended up with a busted lip after he ate those punches. However, in between Kerrion and Moolah fighting, I guess Kerrion kind of fell onto Curtis, and Curtis ends up pushing him. I thought this was extremely lame, because I know Curtis is basically Moolah's ex-prison bitch, but if you stand that close to a fight, don't be surprised if somebody knocks into you or if you actually end up getting hit. I know Curtis wanted to make sure that Moolah's dick didn't get damaged in the fight, but don't worry, Curtis is gonna be working just fine after. You could still get some tonight. In my opinion, Curtis was trying to do something in any way that he could, so Kerrion knocking into him was a perfect excuse for him to try to push him like he did. And honestly, I don't even know if I can fault Curtis, because we all know that Moolah is his DL prison husband, so if you're messing with somebody's husband, it's not that shocking that they would jump in and attack you. And even though Milan is 40 years old and almost broke his leg this episode, I really like that he gave Curtis what Curtis deserved. Milan put his legs on the line for saving Kerrion. I thought that was pretty cool of him. But after that moment, the episode starts to go downhill very quickly. I'm actually just going to summarize in short what happened, because it was a lot of the cast repeating the exact same lines. Moolah wanted Milan to give Curtis a fair one, but I thought that was weird because he waited till Kerrion wasn't even looking at him to swing. Anthony was extremely drunk and so annoying this entire episode. Natalie keeps saying she's gonna leave and it's their show, but she's still there being annoying and irrelevant and talking. Gutta yelling that he's seen everybody thump was really funny to me because that's exactly how I would have been, because why is everybody trying to grapple and scratch each other? I don't know about them, but I feel like if I'm gonna try to fight somebody, I'm gonna actually try to hurt them when I'm fighting them. Again, Zeus just shows so many irrelevant things. This is an extremely dragged out episode. Natalie at the end tries to stick up for Moolah and says that he's allowed to ask questions, but I definitely think there's a way to ask things, and the way he was asking was like, oh well, you need to stand over here on this team or over there on that team, and somehow that just went right over Natalie's chin. Again, I don't know why a meeting with production was shown, and if they were gonna show a meeting with production, can we at least get it in like a very short summary, maybe a minute or so? But Natalie and Lemmy talking and them just trying to get them in order was just so unnecessary to air. Moolah is clearly jealous of Kerrion because Kerrion comes from a musical family and Kerrion isn't spilling all his tea, and I really do think that Moolah is jealous and he just wants to know everything about Kerrion, and when Kerrion shuts it down, it makes Moolah feel upset because in their argument Moolah was like, ain't you Kirk Franklin's son? I was just like, what does that have to do with literally anything on earth? But that pretty much wraps this episode up. I know it was going to be boring and exhausting. Honestly, if the season continues like this, I may just have to not do reviews or even watch it anymore just because the episodes are extremely boring. The fights and the drama are literally for no reason. It's just so chaotic and it's stupid, combined with Zeus's editing or lack thereof. That definitely doesn't help it, and it's just not very entertaining to me. I'm sorry, but between Anthony dropping the F-bomb for half the episode, Natalie reminding everybody for the 50th time that it's not her show, Gutta screaming the other half of the show, Milan's knees practically giving out in the middle of his fight, and Moolah's homophobia doesn't make this an entertaining show for me to watch. I'm actually quite concerned that producers and stuff weren't stepping in, but I actually am praying that the show turns around because I really do want to like the show. But honestly, I just don't know if that'll come at this point. But that was my review on episode 2 of Bad Boys LA. If you guys have any comments or any opinions, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.